it just keeps rolling and you find yourself rolling with it, even though you're not entirely sure how it happened. Hey guys, welcome to Wild Hope Homestead. It's been a little while since I've done some videoing because I've been working on something which is technically related to homesteading, but not exactly in the way that you'd think. We had an unfortunate incident with Angus's mice hat, but Steve took it upon himself to try and fix it by stitching it up. And we didn't have any darker brown thread, but he sort of chose the one that actually matches the cord. And it actually, well, if you think it's like lightning, then it's not so bad, right? I mean, at least it's still usable, which is actually really cool. I was sitting there looking at the work he was doing on this main bit down the crown of the hat and thinking, how on earth is he doing such an amazing job at like alternating longer ones and shorter ones? I thought he was like some kind of stitching genius. I was actually feeling a little bit inadequate in my stitching abilities until I realised that there are holes in the hat and he was just alternating which hole he put the threads through. So that slightly diminished his triumph in my eyes, but he actually still did a really good job of it. Guys who have stitching skills, gotta have one of them. Steve's building some sort of contraption with parts from things that Angus has dismantled, like an old bike and an old rotary tiller that they couldn't fix. I'm not actually sure if he knows what he's building. It's some sort of contraption. Do you know what you're making, or are you just making it up as you go? No.
one down mine.
Whoops. Seat needs some adjustment.
Something on the side.
Whoa. So I have just finished in this past week my application to homeschool Angus next year. So that is something that's the ball kind of got rolling in the last couple months, but it's something I've been thinking about since before Angus started school. So it's kind of something I've always wanted to do, but back then we were trying to have another baby and I didn't think that I'd be able to do a very good job or a good enough job of homeschooling Angus while I was pregnant and looking after a baby. And then I got pregnant with Scarlett just after Angus started school. I mean, it's been a good school, and I think that was the right thing to do then. Anyway, just the last few months, it's kind of been one of those things where basically God just starts rolling the ball and it just keeps rolling and you find yourself rolling with it even though you're not entirely sure how it happened or so just things kept happening that were bringing homeschooling to my attention, people crossing my path who were talking about it, and a friend homeschooling who was able to help me get the ball rolling, my ball rolling on my end, help me to start the journey by giving me some resources and websites and things to look at, and then this whole application process, which is a big mission. So I don't know what it's like in other countries, but in New Zealand we have to apply for an exemption to be able to homeschool, and the exemption process takes, well, the auto email reply I got said it takes 6 to 8 weeks to process, but due to unprecedented demand it could be longer than that. So our area, our region is, I think, one of the biggest, maybe the biggest region where homeschooling is popular actually. So I guess a lot of people are wanting to homeschool here at the moment, which is good. Except I just hope it gets done in time for the new year. So that's why I've kind of been hibernating while I've been working on the application, because it's a pretty intense process. The questions to answer require a lot of detail, so you actually have to have a reasonably good idea what you're doing in terms of curriculums and and planning and detail, a lot of details about how you're going to do it, sort of thing. So I've been looking at resources, curriculums and books and all sorts of things, websites, and also looking into scheduling. Of course, none of the kind of schedules or planners that I looked at were quite what I wanted or as much as I wanted or in the way I wanted, so I'm making my own templates to print out a planner, which is going to be good, because then I can make one that works the way my brain works, and so hopefully that will help things to flow nicely. Anyway, so things kept happening that were just pushing me towards doing homeschooling for next year, and so if that's what God wants me to do, then He's going to get us there in time. And so the more I look into it, the more excited I am about doing it with Angus and hopefully scale it in the future. I don't know how it's going to go, but I've got lots of exciting things planned, and just really looking forward to having Angus back home and delving into this learning journey and doing more practical things with him, and seeing how we go. So that's obviously going to be a big thing for the homestead, and I'll just have to fit everything else in around that. So lots of new routines to learn and things to figure out, but I'm looking forward to it, and I'm looking forward to getting back to normal life now, because the garden has been a bit neglected these last few weeks while I've just been trying to get the application done, knowing that I needed to hurry up and do it, so that we've got time to hopefully get it accepted next year with this, Christmas holidays and things coming up. Now it's time to get back to the garden and all the other things. I've been catching up on some food stuff and a bit of house cleaning, and the garden really needs some attention, and I really need the garden too, and some exercise. So Scarlett, who's stuffing her face with unripe raspberries at the moment, is going to help me do some weeding.